Hello, everyone. We are live with SandiSue, Happy Energy Coach. Hello, SandiSue. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Well, thank you, Jessie. I really appreciate the opportunity to share Feng Shui.
Yes, we've got a lot of really great things to talk about. This is going to be a wonderful year, right? Right? Yes, yes. Before we get started go ahead.
It's repeating. It's repeating what we're saying. So what we just said, now it's repeating in my ear.
Oh, okay. I wonder if you can take those out and just be, because it might have a little bit of a delay.
Okay, let's take these out. Okay.
Is that better?
We'll find out. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is having a delay. So, now I can hear the delay too.
Isn't that interesting? Oh, I do too. It's Mercury Retrograde playing with
It is. It's Mercury Retrograde. Woo! I can't hear the repeat now. Are you going to be okay with it, or do you need to?
Yeah, I'll be okay with it.
Okay. 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 Before we get started too much, I just want to make sure that just a couple little things. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe, and share this. And this is great information to have. So please get it out to everybody that you can. And Feng Shui is something that has totally changed my life and made it so much better. And SandiSue, how long have we known each other?
Oh my gosh, many, many, many years.
Yeah, a long time. And I'm not sure when I started working with you. I found Feng Shui and then I found SandiSue. And then SandiSue. Yeah, on Facebook. Yes. And so you have taught me so much. And I think that my house is so much more comfortable and welcoming than it was before. And I've known how to like control the energy in my household from stuff that you've taught me. And so I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for everything that I've learned from you. And I'm very grateful for all the time and the energy that you put into teaching everyone else. And so thank you so much for that. And I highly recommend that people get to know you and get to know what you do and the information that you have to share. So let's talk about Feng Shui and the year of the tiger.
Ooh, the tiger. In fact, I'm wearing tiger energy right now.
Yes. I was listening to Eye of the Tiger before we started.
Oh, I love that song.
So what's the year of the tiger going to bring for us?
So the year of the tiger is going to help bring us a lot more courage. Because if you think of a tiger, they're very courageous. And after the last couple of years, we all need a little bit more courage, don't we? So I'm very excited about that. And confidence. It's going to bring a lot more confidence for everybody as well. So I'm very excited about that.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about Feng Shui and what Feng Shui does for someone. It's happening whether you believe it or not, right? Whether
yes. Just like gravity, we don't understand it, but it's gravity's gravity.
Yeah.
So Feng Shui is the art and science of living in harmony with your environment. So it's all about balancing the 5 elements, which is fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. And usually we're out of balance with 1 or 2 of the elements in our environment and even with ourselves. We might even be wearing the wrong color for our own particular.
Give us a synopsis on that again, please. Just a little recap.
Oh, for the 5 elements?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have fire, earth, water, metal, and wood. And we need to have all 5 of those balanced in our environment or it throws us off. And same with ourselves. So for instance, I am a fire energy. So if I wore a lot of water, which is black and blue, then my energy would go down because it's throwing off my energy.
Okay. So at the start of 2020, you told us to wear red.
Yes.
A lot of red. And what was that doing for us?
So red actually helps to protect us, and it actually helps to attract what we want as well. So if we're an animal that's having a challenging year, we definitely need to wear red. So this year, The monkeys, the snake, the tiger, and the pig needs to wear red.
Okay. Well, I have filled my closet with red, so that's an easy thing for me. Now, one of the questions that I had is like if there's a color that has like a red undertone to it, like if I wear orange, is that still good, or does it need to be red red?
It needs to be red, red to protect you.
Okay,
But that's a
cool.
great question.
Cool. Because that's a funny thing because I get a lot of times when I do a reading for somebody, they need orange, and I'm always wondering why somebody needs orange, like to drink orange juice and to have orange around them. And so I'm not sure exactly what all orange does for somebody.
It's all about joy. Orange is one of my favorite colors to wear because it's all about joy.
Nice. Huh.
Mhm.
That's really interesting. Cool. Okay. So in Feng Shui and the Chinese New Year, you're trying to balance the wood and fire and the water and the all those elements to make that year more harmonious for the change in that new cycle that's coming in. Did I say
Exactly.
that right?
Exactly. So every year with the flying star, the stars come in and they move directions. So they go into different areas of your home. And we need to protect ourselves from the depleting, challenging stars. And then the ones that bring us money and love, we want to enhance to bring more of that energy towards us.
And so what you're teaching people to do is where those flying stars are, where they can enhance stuff and where they can like let stuff be calm and get the most bang for your buck kind of thing, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And this year, it's extremely important to keep the center of your home as clean as possible and as quiet as possible because the worst star lives there. So, the more we really pay attention to the center of our home, the happier we're all going to be because the center is called the Tai Chi and it affects all the other areas in our home. So if that's throwing everything else off, that's not going to be a good year. So keep it really clean. Avoid red in the center of the home this year. And then we want to bring in a lot of white and metal elements. The more metal elements that you have in the center of your home, then that helps to suppress that negative star. So then you can have a great year instead of a challenging year.
So white or metal or is there a shape that goes with that also?
Yes, circular is the anything circular or oval is the metal element. So yes, you can bring anything, like pictures and clocks that are circular would be really good.
Okay, cool. And this is not just for your home. This is your office, your car, your desk, everything, right? I mean, you can use that Bagua map over anything.
Exactly. Even your wall, like for instance, I was looking at my wall because I'm redecorating the center of my home. And I was looking at it, and on the right-hand side is the love, upper right, and then the upper left is the money area. So yes, you can even do it on a wall.
Wow. Okay. I've never thought about that. And
Mhm.
then one thing that you've told me recently is that the property is more important than the interior of the house. Like so you're not just putting the Bagua map over the top of the house. I mean you are, but it's really important to put it over the whole entire property.
Yes, I believe that that's the most important thing because chi comes from the earth, right? So the more we keep our property in balance by having, trees and fountains and the birds come in and everything, it helps to bring in more chi and it brings more balance. Because when you take care of the land will take care of you. So every day I'm outside gardening somehow, some way.
I've been wanting to get a fountain to put by my front door.
Oh,
And
good.
is it good to have like a spinning fountain? You know, those ones that have like the ball that spins and
It's
like
okay, but think of the word that you just said, spinning.
oh,
So if you don't want to feel like you're spinning all the time, then I would say no.
okay. A very calm
But
fountain.
that's right. A
But
nice
just
flow.
okay, okay.
And are you wanting it outside, Jessie, or are you wanting it inside?
I'm wanting it outside.
Okay. So outside, it's very important when you're looking at your front door that you have the fountain to the right and not the left.
When I'm
So
looking at the
standing
front door.
Actually, you're looking at the front door, standing in front of your yard. Yes. So you only want to have it on the right-hand side, because if you have it on the left-hand side, it could create divorces, a lot of other problems. And I've seen that several times. In fact, because I do real estate too part-time, and when I go showing homes, when there is a fountain on the left side and it's a divorce type of situation, it happens all the time. It's
So
amazing.
interesting.
Hmm.
And so the right side is supporting. It's
Yes,
helping bring in the good energy.
exactly.
Does it matter where the hinges are on the door?
No, not at
No?
all.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. So in putting it by the front door, that helps with career and is it just career and stuff, or is it just any energy that's coming into the home? It helps with all of it?
It primarily helps the career, but then it helps all the energy because it's bringing in the flow of chi nicely. It's a nice flow. So then it comes throughout the whole entire home and the yard. So it really affects everything, but mostly the career.
Okay,
But it's because
cool.
career is also considered your life path, which affects everything.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's I found that it's important to not let it get stagnant or don't let it get mossy or anything like that, right? Keep it fresh and nice and in
Yeah,
good form.
exactly. In fact, our mutual friend, Martha, she is the one who told me, because I learned so much from my clients, is she told me that if you put pennies in there, it actually helps keep the water better. And so that's what I do. So it's, how when you go and throw pennies and you make a wish. So that's what I do with my fountain outside, is I always throw pennies in there and make
Cool.
wishes.
That's fun.
Mhm.
So when does the Chinese New Year start?
February 1st this year. So every year it changes, as we know, and it has to do with the new moon. So whatever the new moon will be at the end of January or the first part of February, that's when the Chinese New Year will be.
Okay. And this is like a really long celebration, isn't it?
Yeah, that especially if you're in the East, they
Yeah.
celebrate for days on end. Where I celebrate for like about a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is also good. So
Yes.
what is your favorite ritual that you do for the Chinese New Year?
Oh, well, one of my favorites is taking 8 or 9, because 8 is prosperity and then 9 means completion. So either one. I take 8 or 9 oranges and I stand at my front door looking in, and I roll them in towards the far left corner of my home as far as I can get them to go, because that's where the money energy is. And that is so much fun because you set your intention of what you wanting to accomplish that year for your prosperity. And it's just like bowling. And normally can't get it all the way in. So then you have to come in and then you kind of kick it in and you start playing soccer at that
Oh,
point. But it's a lot of fun. It's tons of
I
fun.
didn't know that I was supposed to do that. I've just been rolling them in as far as I can, so I can get them all to that prosperity section then, huh? I can keep moving them
Exactly.
in? Okay.
Yes. And I actually leave them there all night. And then the next morning is when I pick them up. Mhm.
Okay, as long as they don't bust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't kick
and
them
then you
that
feel
hard.
pretty.
It's a little tap with my toe.
Yeah, we've done it like almost like bocce ball, where we're trying to hit the other orange. That's good. And did you say that you have another one also, that's your favorite, but you have another one too?
Yeah, that's my favorite. And then also we have one that we do the night that okay, so that's the night before. So that would be the 31st for this year. And then on the first is whenever we welcome in the wealth god or the happiness god. And we go outside and we take 3 incense, and we have to face a certain direction. And one direction is for the wealth god, and then the second one is for the happiness. But you need to choose just one. And it's all about intentions. And you light them and then you bring that energy back into your home. So what's interesting is my client that I just had, we always talk about, because she's a Christian and so am I. And so she always asks me interesting questions because Feng Shui gets a little confusing for people. And last night when she heard me talk about these different gods, she wanted me to give her clarity. Well, it's really energy because God is energy. God is everywhere, right? Is everything. And that's what energy is. In fact, I call God energy sometimes. And so it's just energy. It's an intention that we're bringing in to our home. So it's not a different God.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that you're probably one of the first people that told me that energy is everything and everything is energy. So yes, that's a good thing to understand. Yeah. So for this new year, what does being in the year of the tiger signify then? What's it going to mean for us?
So it depends on what animal you are. So, for instance, if you're a horse, dog, ox, or rooster, you're going to have a really good year this year. In fact, if you know any horses, dogs, or oxes, or roosters, you want to hang out with them this year because since they're having all these blessing stars around them, they're going to bless you with the energy as well. Now, if you are a rabbit, a dragon, a sheep, or a rat, then you have a mixed bag of energy this year. So you need to be a little bit more careful and you need to really work on your feng shui for sure. And then if you are the monkey, snake, tiger, or pig, you're having the most challenging this year. So you want, I know. So what you want to do is you want to be very giving, all the things that you love to do for other people. This is the year to do it. Is to have parties, they can be Zoom parties if you don't want to gather with other people, donate blood, give to charities as much as possible, call people that are having challenges right now, give your time and your energy. And if you have resources to give, this is the year to do it for sure. Because then that gives you the good luck.
Good. Okay. I have been donating blood now. I never did before. I didn't think that I could because I'm hypothyroid and I was told that I couldn't at one time. But actually the maintenance man where I work, he's like, come on, we're going to donate blood. I'm like, okay. so, so now it's like nothing. It's so easy to do. And I do feel like I'm at least maybe there's somebody that I'm benefiting, so I think it's such a great thing to do. And you have talked about that over the years that donating blood at the first of the year is a really good thing to do. And I know that they need a lot right now. So yeah, it's a good time it doesn't matter if it's before or after the new year, right? Just around the first of the year, it's good.
Exactly. Because if you decide that, yes, this is what I want to do, just go ahead and start planning it. It doesn't have to be right before. Because if you decide before the new year, then that really helps. And especially if you're having a challenge this year. Because if you're having a challenging year, Master Hong says that's when you could fall and cut yourself, or cutting vegetables, you can cut yourself, or you could get in a car accident, things like that. So if you donate blood, then you're already giving up the blood that was going to happen anyways. And then you don't get in an accident. And if you do, it's such a minor accident. You're like, ooh, that was easy. It was just a fender bender. It wasn't a major car accident type thing.
You're volunteering blood instead of Bill says, oh, rat. Yeah, because he's a rat. And let's see. Marianne says, does everyone do the same as the animals that has the most challenges?
It's actually, even like, because I'm a horse and, we have really good luck this year, I'm still going to be doing all those things because it just gives you better karma, period. And plus, my name means helper of mankind. So I love doing those things because that's who I am. And then it just brings me better luck. So I think everybody should do all those things every year personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's never wrong, huh?
That's right.
So is there anything else that we need to do to kind of prepare? I mean, we need to know about the flying stars and what's best to have in the energy of that area and stuff. And then, like we were just talking about, is there anything else that we can do to prepare, set intentions, set goals, those kinds of things?
Yeah, always. In fact, on the Chinese New Year is a great day to sit down and really think about your intentions because that's the very first day of the new year. So whenever you set your intentions on a new year, then it helps to carry it throughout the rest of the year. And then prior to that, because we still have a few more days until the Chinese New Year, is really to start going through, maybe some drawers that you haven't looked at for a while, like the junk drawer, for instance, in the kitchen, and just start letting go of things that no longer serve you. Because when you create more space for what you want, it helps on all levels. But whenever there's a bad star in that area, then there's nothing to cling on to. So less is best in Feng Shui, always. And your bedroom is the most important room in the whole house because you sleep a third of your life. So even if a star is good in that area, which we hope, then it's just going to bring you more luck. So either way, really get that bedroom as perfect as possible.
And that's one thing that I've just recently got. I had a headboard, but it was just a wooden headboard and it was just like slats. Now we have a solid headboard. Talk a little bit about that and what that can do for somebody. Because that's
yes, I'm so excited, Jessie, that you did that. That's awesome. Because of the slats, then some of the energy was leaving out of your crown chakra. So now that you have a nice solid wood one, it's going to help support you more and so much on so many levels. It's going to be amazing. And can you feel the difference when you're in bed?
I think I can. I think I'm sleeping better. I haven't put the mirror underneath my bed yet, and I need to do that. So, and you said that really helps sleep, like face up right underneath where you're sleeping, right?
Exactly. Underneath your chakras, because then it'll pull your chakras down into the earth and really ground you. And the last 2 years, people aren't sleeping like they used to because of all the things we've been dealing with globally, right? So get that mirror underneath that bed tonight.
I've heard that from so many people that they're just having so much trouble sleeping. And so a solid headboard and metal is not the best, right?
No, metal is actually the worst. So what happens is with metal, it's a conductor for electricity. So we have all this electricity going through our walls. And if we have a metal bed, headboard and, any metal on this, next to us on our nightstands, well, that energy is going through our body as we sleep. And my clients that hire me because they're having, really challenging health issues like cancer, things like that, 9 times out of 10, they have a metal bed.
Wow.
Yeah. So no metal beds, people, get rid of it. Now, if you have one, don't freak out right now. If you have one right now, after you get off of this, listening to us, go into your room, move it a couple inches away from the wall, and then put a big blanket over it. So the blanket is the wood element, a soft wood, and then it will at least help you until you find a headboard that you can, change it out for.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that was a possible cure. That's good. Good to know.
Temporary cure.
Temporary cure. Yes. Okay. Let's see. I have a couple of questions written down here. I want to make sure that we cover everything. And so tell us some of the good things that we can look forward to this year. I know that there's some.
I know. I'm trying to remember everything because I just learned everything and then I said everything last night. And my brain really is mush right now, to be honest with you. Some things to really look forward to. There's going to be a lot of, and we're seeing it already with all the technology and everything. More of that's coming out this year. Because people are because of the courage, they're ready to bring it out, So that, I think that's a really good one. Nothing's really coming to my mind right now. I'm sorry. But I did want to, because I wanted to go back to the sleep part, is that the tiger energy is the strongest between 3 and 5 a.m. And lately, Rick and I have been waking up during that time. In fact, I woke up at 4 this morning. I just couldn't get back to sleep. So I had to get up. But so if you're waking up during those times, it's because of that tiger energy. So definitely get that mirror underneath that bed. And I don't have a mirror underneath my bed because I sleep really well. But because I've noticed that I've been, waking up lately, I'm actually going to be putting a mirror underneath my bed if it doesn't change in the next week or two after Mercury retrograde leaves us, because I love to sleep.
Yeah. 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 We all need that restorative sleep, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. One thing that comes up is a couple years ago, I don't know if it was last year or year before, you had talked about Grandmaster Hong had said that there would be like a shortage of meat and stuff. Is there anything like that we can look out for in particular?
Yeah, he didn't say anything about that this year. He did say that inflation is going to continue, which we've been hearing that anyways. The supply chain, same thing, issues, and that's what happened last year. And he predicted that, and sure enough, that happened. The one thing that I loved that he said is that Arizona and California is going to have a cooler summer. So yeah, us desert people are really excited about that. Maybe it'll stay in the high 90s.
We'll be able to go outside.
That'll be great.
Yes. Going back to Cam V says giving is always a good idea. Yes, it is. That's for sure. Always a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be nice. A cooler summer. Very interesting. So for us to be able to support one another through this year, besides giving, is there anything else that we can do to be supportive of each other? Because I mean, most of us are, we don't know what each other's animal things are and the challenges and stuff, and you never know what somebody else is going through most of the time. So how can we be supportive of each other through this year?
That's a great question. This is a good year. In fact, I'm putting a class together so that we all really get really clear on all the different people in our life and what animals they are. So that, if they're having a challenge, then we know those are the people we need to help more. Because just like you said, they don't always say anything. It's like me, I'm a triple Scorpio, and I'm pretty silent on a lot of things, except for Feng Shui. So people don't usually know when I'm going through a lot of challenges. And if it is, I just tell them a little tiny bit. So get to know all the different people in your life and what animals they are, and then get to know who your benefactor is and who you benefit. So for instance, I help the pig. So the horse helps the pig. Yes.
And you have many times.
And I have. And then the ox helps the horse. So, and it's interesting because I've actually, especially when I started off in Feng Shui, the people that were helping me the most at the very beginning were oxes. It was amazing. I was like, wow, this stuff is so accurate. It's so true. So learn those things. In fact, what I shared last night, it shares with you all those different things. So you know what animals are benefiting each other and what you're benefiting. So I would do that. So you know who to help this year for sure, like the monkey, the snake, the tiger, and the pig. So I did want to talk about, did you have another question? I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Is that I brought it up last night, and a lot of people don't realize is that we have different aspects. So for instance, I was born the year of the fire horse, but I was born the month of the pig in November. So that's my secondary energy. So this year I'm going to have an awesome year, but my secondary animal is having a little bit of a challenge. So that's another reason why everybody should start doing all those things of giving, donating blood, because we don't know if it's a secondary or third thing. So for instance, my third aspect, I was born during the time of the dragon. So when you really learn more about who you are, just like the Bible talks about, know thyself. If you really know all your different animals, and then you know the people around you and their animals, it really helps you to have more of a harmonious life, because then you understand. So for instance, my husband is a rabbit, and rabbits, they just have fun, taking their time. Where a fire horse, we're already out the door. Usually men are waiting for women, right?
Yeah.
Not in our relationship. I'm usually waiting for Rick. Well, when we first got married, I was always frustrated. I'm like, what's the deal? I'm a woman. He should be waiting for me. Well, when I learned about Feng Shui and that I was a horse and he was a rabbit, I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. So I don't get frustrated anymore because I understand it. In fact, I make a joke out of it. I'm like, okay, rabbit, get on my back. Let's go. And we laugh and then we go.
Yeah, I learned that Bill is a rat, and he was born the year of the pack.
The pack.
He's a pack rat.
Pack rat.
He doesn't want to throw anything away, you know, and I think that he's learning about Feng Shui through me, you know, through what you've taught me, that that you have to. You just don't have a choice a lot of times.
Exactly. And you know, it's so true. The rats, they're either one or the other. They're pack rats or they are minimalist. It's nothing in between. And the thing that would help a pack rat is because rats are all about money. Rabbits and rats are all about money. And if you tell them, the more you get rid of, honey, the more money we'll have. Oh, they'll start getting rid of things. I use that for children all the time. My clients are like, well, I can't get my teenager to do this. Well, what do they want? Whatever they want, then tell them, clear the clutter and it'll come. And sure enough, it does.
Yeah, because that's like one of those things in Feng Shui that I think is so easy to learn, but like one of the things that you need to remember the most is that space creates opportunity, right? You said that a little bit before, but yeah, I think that that's a big deal. Space creates opportunity.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know, my dad's mom was a pack rat, and I learned that she is a rat. She's a rat. And I remember one time she showed me this. She goes, see this button? This button was on your dad's jacket when he was 5 years old. I'm like, oh my God.
Woo!
That was 70 years ago, Grandma.
Yes. Yeah. Put it in a museum, right?
That's right.
Marianne says, I can't wait for the cooler. Yes. Yeah, it's been really nice right now. So yeah, a cool summer would be easy to transition into. Yes. Very good. So you're talking about this a little bit. I'm a pig. I think I'm a wood. Am I wood pig? I think
you are a wood pig.
I think I am. And so we're secret friends with tigers. And so this year is going to affect me in certain ways because it's year of the tiger. So talk about what that means to be secret friends.
Yeah, so secret friends are great. So my secret friend is a sheep. Marianne is a sheep. And secret friends are there for you. And with you, which was really interesting, because I know a couple of weeks ago when we were talking, I was like, oh, you're going to have a great year because I knew you were the secret friend of the tiger. Well, that's one reason why I listen to Master Hong all day long to learn all these things to share with you guys, is that normally you would have a really good year for the year of the tiger. But because your primary fixed energy is the water element for the pig, so that's your primary, but you were born the year of the wood pig. Okay. So that water, the primary, helps to feed your wood, which is good. But this year, because it's water, and then we're having a water yang year with the wood tiger, that is a conflict. So I know. So I was like, oh, I told Jessie this, and then here's what's going on. But in 12 years from now, Jessie, for the rest of your life, for all the tiger years, from this point on, it'll be much better. Just this year will be a little bit of a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. But we want our secret friends to be around because they definitely help us.
So every animal has a secret friend. And so is the tiger secret friend a pig then? Do they correlate like that, or is it?
No, it's well, you guys are friends with each other. Yes. So you're friends with each other.
Okay.
Yes.
And so
you help each other.
We have secret friends, and we have a benefactor, and then there was one other thing, wasn't there?
Yeah. So we have our triad. So our triad is the other two animals. So for instance, the tiger has the triad with the horse and the dog. That's why the horse and the dog are having such a great year. And what was your other question? I'm sorry.
That
I
that
heard some
there
noise.
are three things. That's okay. The secret friend, the benefactor, and then the one other thing that I can't remember what it
Oh,
is.
yeah. So the benefactor is the one that helps you, and then you benefit somebody else as well. And then we have the secret friend. So we have those 3 different things to look at. And the
Okay.
more that you hang around your secret friend and your triad, the better, because
Okay.
it's just harmonious. So for instance, if you think about it, a horse, a tiger, and a dog, what do? We're fast. We can run, right? We're a rabbit and a mouse. It's just right. It's a different energy. So we totally understand each other and we can keep up with each other. So it's just more harmonious.
Okay. And so maybe like having the same goals and kind of desires for the year, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like we're all on the same page. You're on the same page with your triad. So it's just a really easy flow. So that's another reason why I'm going to be doing this class. I haven't set a date yet. I'll think about that next week. But so that we really get clear on who is our tribe, who is the one that's
Yeah.
going to really support us, because life has really been challenging the last 2 years. So the more we have our tribe around us, the more harmony we have, the better, for sure.
Marianne is asking, explain primary and secondary.
Yes. So primary, if you're speaking of the elements, is that the horse is always a fire horse. That's their primary. I just happen to be born the year of the fire horse as well. Okay. So that's 2 fire. I have 2 fire horse energies going on. So that's element wise. If it's an animal, you have your year that you were born, the month you were born, and the time you were born. So the year is the primary because that's the biggest. Secondary
Okay.
is the month, and then the time is the third.
Okay. And so you can learn more about yourself by knowing all of those different things and how they affect you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's also asking, how do we know our triad?
Your triad, that's what I'm going to be going over. I'm going to be going over all this information so that everybody understands, because there's just so much information. So, and I don't have it memorized. I'm sorry, Marianne, I don't have yours memorized.
I know it's on my card that I got from you, the
Mm-hmm.
your card. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Card.
Yeah, so that helps. Yeah. In fact, for those of you that want to sign up for the workshop that I just did, because I put it all on Teachable. So Teachable is a platform that I have the recording, I have the PDFs on there. I have where you can ask questions, but then I also have all the different animals, so you can print them off and you can put them in your home. So for instance, the rat lives in the north, the horse lives in the south, the rabbit lives in the east, and the rooster lives in the west. And all the other animals live in between. And on the back of the card, it tells you the degree of where they live. And
Oh.
also, yeah. And so then you place them there. So if you're wanting more harmony, then you just face all the animals in. Now, you don't have to look at them. You can put them behind a picture so that the energy's there. You don't have to look at it. But if you feel like you need more protection, then you actually want to face them out. So face them towards the wall. And then what you're doing is you're creating this energy field of this harmonious animal energy all throughout your whole home. And it feels really good. In fact, a couple of my clients that are psychic, they felt the energy shift just like that. As soon as they put those up, they're like, oh, this feels better. But on the back of that card that you were saying, Jessie, it says what your triad is. It says who they are, who your secret friend is, who the opposite is. Yeah. It's like good information on there.
Yeah. There's a lot of information on those cards, the little postcards. Yeah. So is there a section then of my house correlating with those degrees that I'm better off if I spend more time in that part of my house?
That's such a great question, because this was the first year that Master Hong actually talked to us about where we should be, the different animals for this year. So there was like 2 to 4 different auspicious areas for us to hang out there. And he'd never brought that up before. So that's on the recording that I did too.
For each individual animal?
Yeah, for each individual animal. I was like, wow, that's great. So for instance, one of my clients I had this afternoon, her house faces the east. And that's a really good direction for her energetically. But this year, the east, so I'll share this little tidbit with you guys too. The east is a really bad location as well. Not as bad as the center, that's the worst. But the east is where the argumentative star is and lawsuit star is. So we want to add a lot of red in that area. In fact, I've already put all my red flowers outside, and my pots moved over to that side of my property already just to prepare for it. But I was concerned because she has big goals this year. And I know she can get them, but since it was facing that direction, I was a little concerned. But last night when I was doing the workshop and it said dog, because she's a dog, east was actually a really good location for her to hang out this year. So so that's another reason why you really want to know all these different things, because location, element, animal. So the more you understand all these things, the better. And that's what I'm going to be putting these different classes together to just go step by step, on just that stuff. It's not about what's going on for the year. It's like what your energy is all about and how you can really start balancing it more by bringing in the right elements and the right animals into your life.
And then the cures, right? To bring in the specific cures. So talk a little bit about like the I don't think I have any of them right around here. This is the only one I think that I have, and it should have this is the
Piao. No, wait, no, that's not Piao. That one is the supportive. Yeah, that's the dragon. And it's a dragon turtle, and it has the little one on top, and that means support. So that is very good to have on your desk like you do, because then you're more supported in your business. So that's awesome.
So there's 9 different, well, there may be more than 9, but at least 9 different cures that you can get, little statues or I don't know what the other things are called. Amulets?
Yeah, remedies. I just call them remedies.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's actually 10, only because Piao, at first I thought it was Piao until you got closer. Piao lives in the same area as another one, because he moves around the planet every year. So, also on my program for that one, you can download those as well, as far as you can print them out. So if anybody would go to buy all of them at one time, that's like $400 some odd. And that's not always in everybody's budget. And right now, who wants to spend money when inflation's going up? Not me. I'm like, beans and rice, Rick, beans and rice. Just kidding. He actually loves beans and rice. Yeah. I'm the one that I'm like, I'd rather have a steak myself. But you can download these, print them off, and you can put them in the areas that is recommended for this year to give you some protection and or to bring in the good luck, like the love, the wealth, the heaven luck, things like that. And then the one that I would really recommend is buying the one for the center of the home, and that's the 5-element Pagoda. And you can get that on my website, because that one you put dirt in it. So you unscrew it and you put dirt from your yard in it. And every year you have to dump out the dirt and put in new dirt, because that's what absorbs that really bad star that we don't like. But that's the number one that I always want everybody to have with them in their home, because the more you protect, it's all about prevention, right? Because you can have everything you want, but if you don't have your health, and if things are being stolen from you, or people are having lawsuit, suing you, things like that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So prevention.
So when you dump out the dirt, are you supposed to dump it out on your property, or do you dump it in like the trash and make it go away forever?
Nope, I just put it on the property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the property will take care of it.
I think that I have, I have every one of those cures now. And so tomorrow, I think, is the day to start the ritual of cleansing them in the salt and
Yes,
putting them back
yes.
out again. Yeah.
So do you want to share with everybody the salt so I can make sure that you're doing it and then everybody would know?
I do it with Epsom salts, and I know you've talked about sea salt before. Is
Mhm.
Epsom salt okay? No?
No,
Sea
and the
salt?
reason, yes, and think about it, is where does sea salt come from? The big ocean.
Okay.
The ocean has a lot of energy. So if you're using the sea salt, so it's great to buy it in bulk because it's cheaper that way.
Mhm.
Like Sprouts is a really good place to get it. Because you're going to need a big, there we go. You're going to need a big bag because you need to put it in every single corner. I was going to have you do it every single corner for 3 days. And then you put them down the different drains in your home. So you want at least 2 tablespoons of sea salt in every corner.
Okay, 2 tablespoons, and I put mine in, like, the little paper, muffin cups
Mhm.
and put them in every corner of every room.
Yes, and if you have a walk-in closet, I would do that as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
And then, at the end of 3 days, then take them and put them down every drain and
Mhm.
and let it go away. And that's you can
Exactly.
do that energy cleanse anytime, right? You can do that. And do you call that a salt burn?
I call it a salt cleanse,
Cleanse?
and yeah, you can do it anytime you want, but it's always really important to do it right before the Chinese New Year or the Flying Star New Year, which is always February 4th. Always February 4th is when the stars have already moved. So you always want to cleanse at least before that. But since we have them, they're only 4 days apart this year. This is great. But so doing it this weekend would be ideal for sure.
Okay, cool. And then I'd take a big bowl, a big plastic bowl, and put all of the cures, like the little statues and stuff, in that bowl and cover that with salt and leave that for the 3 days. Am I doing that right
Exactly.
too? Okay.
Yes, yes, because then they'll be activated. A lot of people too, they like to put it out, in the sun because
Okay.
we're going into the new moon right now, so there's not a full moon going on. So you could put them out in the sun if you don't want to salt them. Whatever you feel, some people like to just put them with their crystals. It's whatever you feel your intuition is telling you that your home needs.
Should I put crystals in with it too, or
Yeah, you can
you
if you're
can?
feeling that, definitely.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
Mhm.
Okay. And so that kind of renews the energy, renews the space, and gets it ready for the new year. And it
Mhm.
renews it takes out any of the negative energy that those little statues have been holding for the last year and getting them
Mhm.
ready to protect you for the new year, right?
Exactly. It's kinda giving them a cleanse. It
Yes.
is, it's giving them a cleanse.
Yes. Renew.
Yeah. And then for the animals that are really having more of a challenge this year, which a challenge really is really about rebirthing and, making different decisions, right? Um, you might want to do the salt cleanse more often, like between the full moon and the new moon. You might decide to do it every month. And the reason why we put them in the corners is because energy gets stuck in the corners because energy really goes like circular, just like our
Okay.
planet, right? Our solar system. And so, in the corners, they get stuck. That's why we're putting them there as I look at my corners.
Yeah.
um, the other thing too is if you're having a challenging year or a mixed energy year, keep going back to, oh, I'm just going to donate blood every 3 months. I'm going to do
Mhm.
charity, just keep doing it and revisit what you can do for other people to help shift that energy really quick for you.
Yeah, that's a great plan. And yeah, to work that, just schedule it. Just schedule it in.
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is too is because like for instance, the horse had a very challenging year for the rabbit. I mean, I'm sorry, for the rat, because that's the opposite energy. And then
Mm.
even last year was a little bit more. Well, those 2 years, I just kind of laid low. I did some things, but especially at the beginning of the pandemic, for months, I don't know, it was a few months during the summer, I was doing a lot of free group sessions for
You were
my clients
awesome.
and my friends. They were fun, weren't they?
Yes.
But that was one way that I could give more during a challenging time for all of us. And then me being the horse having the worst luck, I was like, oh, I really need to do this, right? And, I just really made a lot of different choices the last 2 years. And it set me on a different path that I'm even more happier about, because I'm not trying to do a million things all the time like I used to. I'm balanced out that energy a lot. So it's when we go through challenges, it's really a great opportunity to make really good decisions, is really what it comes down to.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a really a great way to look at it, is that we're here to interact with others. So make it positive.
That's right.
So kind of going back to the cleanse then, what about on the property, like outside of the house? Do you do any thing with salt or anything on that?
I don't, because I have so many animals that come to my home. I have lots of
Yeah.
birds. I have the squirrels, the chipmunks, the rabbits, even raccoons. Well, I don't really want them to come, but because they're destructive. But and all my plants, that there's so much good energy in my property that I don't need to do anything. But people that don't have very much going on, they don't, and their property, it would be a good idea to put salt on the outside of the whole house, because then that gives you, a barrier. It protects you more from different energies. So that's something
Okay.
that you can definitely do.
And just leave that then.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it'll take care of itself.
Okay.
The wind will blow it away.
Yes. Yeah, because we have a chain link fence out. The back of our property is a chain link fence that goes into the alley.
Mhm.
And you told us to put like a barrier across there, and then we put a bamboo across that chain link because we don't necessarily
Right.
want to build a block fence right now. And then
Mhm.
we put some the solar like tiki light kind of things, like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
little torch lights. And
Mhm.
that really changes the energy back there, because that's the fame and reputation area, which needs fire anyway for a lot of that,
Mhm.
and the love and relationship and prosperity. So all of those are good for the fire element. And so that has made it to where our energy is not just going out into the alley anymore. It's like contained. So then we can
Yes.
put the salt down along that to cleanse that space and make it happier too, right?
Exactly. It's just try to keep it off of plants and grass as much as possible, because salt will kill them. If it's in abundance. If it's a little bit, not a
Yeah.
problem. And you
Okay.
really just need a little bit, because it's really the intention of doing it.
Yes.
Setting your intention of, protecting your home and your loved ones, and just a little, around there. Please send me a picture, Jessie, because I remember you sending me a picture of your backyard. I'm like, we need to contain that energy.
Yes. I
I'm so
will.
glad
I
you did
will.
that. That's awesome.
Okay. Marianne's asking about the closet corners.
Yes. So for a walk-in closet, and Marianne, I know you do because I helped you buy a home, you definitely need to put them in your closet. And they don't have to go on the floor in there, because you have the different shelves. So you can put it, in on the shelves, unless you want Mike to get down on the floor for you and do it. He's
That's
like,
cool.
no, I'm too tall.
So if you have a corner that's not accessible, like this bookcase behind me, then that would just be, I just put it on the bookcase somewhere in that corner.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So just look and kind of figure out where you feel that there's, where the energy is stagnant. So maybe on a shelf that has a little bit more, not necessarily clutter, but more items on it than others, that would be a good one, because that's where the
Okay.
energy really gets stuck on things.
Okay. And then it's like an Easter egg hunt at the end of the 3 days and going back and finding all the little paper cups.
It is.
I always, like a month later, I'm like, oh, I missed that one. Find it. Find it somewhere else. How are we doing on we're almost out of time here. So why don't you talk about some of the things that you have coming up? They can still get the past broadcasts and stuff and lessons from you, but you have
Mhm.
do you have another 2 or 3 things coming up also?
I
As far as
do. I haven't set a date yet because whenever I set dates, I'm looking at the energy. Of course, I couldn't, I wouldn't have planned all this during Mercury retrograde, but I I had no choice because this is when the Chinese New Year was during this. So I really look at the energy, and I just haven't had time because I've been so busy. But in the next month and the next 2 months is when I'm going to be having these different ones for our animals and our elements. And I will be putting that on my website. But for those that are wanting to get started now on knowing what the energy is more, what's going to be like for their particular animals, you can go to my website. And it's happyenergycoach.com, and just go to events, and you'll see where it says 2022 animal predictions. And then the other one is 2022 flying star. And so, we've already done them, but they're all that information is you just watch the replay, and then there's, PDF, and then there's free gifts on there for you to print off. And then there's a Q&A on there too. So you can, put in a question, and then I'll answer. And then everybody else that's in the group can see those questions and answers, because there's so much to Feng Shui. It's a good way for everybody to learn.
There is so much, but even just using a little bit, just getting into it will help so much. And then you'll start to see the difference, and then you just have to learn more.
That's right.
More,
That's
more, more.
right.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what Mercury retrograde does, so that we can all understand what we're dealing with here.
Yes. So Mercury retrograde, it looks to us, when we look at a telescope, it looks like the planet's going backwards, but it really isn't going backwards. It's just where it is. But what happens is that it affects our communication, technology, contracts. If you're writing a contract during this time, you really need to read it like 3 or 4 or 5 times instead of 1 or 2 times, because you need to cross your T's and dot your I's, be very, very careful, because it just messes those kind of things up. But I like to look at the opportunity of Mercury retrograde, because it has everything to do with RE, like, retrograde. So it's relax, it's revisit, revisit your goals, your plans, maybe revisit that junk drawer that we were talking about. It's revitalizing, it's renew, everything to do with the REs. And so it just gives us this time to look at that, but be very careful on the way you communicate with others, because, just like what was happening with the technology at the beginning here, that was just a Mercury retrograde playing with us, as it does.
And that happens 3 times or 4 times a year?
3 to 4. Yeah. It depends on how soon it starts at the beginning of the year. We might have 4 this year, since it started in the beginning. In the middle of January. We might have 4 this year. In fact, I'll be sending that out, because normally I'll do a group repatterning right before it, so that it helps us all. And we actually do really good. Everyone that gets on the call with me and shifts our energy, we have a much better Mercury retrograde. But with the Chinese New Year, I just didn't have time.
Talk a little bit about the repatterning and what you do with that.
Yeah, repatterning is so great. So everything's energy, just like we were talking with Feng Shui. So the resonance repatterning is like the internal Feng Shui. So everything starts on the spiritual level, the mental, emotional level, and then it shows up in our physical body. And your system knows exactly what you need in order to shift that energy. And so I use applied kinesiology, which is also called muscle checking. So that camera keeps messing me up. So I put my fingers together, and if my fingers stay together, then that's your system's telling me to stop at a particular statement that needs to shift. So because unconsciously, over 80% of our life is unconscious, and we have all these things going on, and we identify what needs to shift on you by using this applied kinesiology, because your system knows exactly what you need to shift it. And it's an hour long, and we get you resonating with all the things that you do want, and then clear the things that you do not want. And it's huge, because at the end of the session, 9 times out of 10, my clients will say, I feel lighter. And it's because we decluttered all these negative beliefs and feelings that you've been holding on to since you were a baby, or if you believe in other lifetimes.
Mhm.
So we can clear things all the way back in other lifetimes as well, because everything is energy. So it's powerful. It'll change your life.
You know,
Both of them.
I don't think that we've ever done a session where something didn't come up that was like so perfect for that particular session. You know, like the book that you go through and stuff. Like it's like opening up a book and it opening to that page that's exactly what you need to hear. And
Yeah,
that happens every single time, right?
it does, and I've been doing that for over 20 years, and every single time I get all excited. I'm like, "Wow, this is so right on," because there's hundreds of different repatternings, and your system knows exactly what you need, and it blows my mind because I don't like to sit there and read. I don't. In high school, I did not read out loud whatsoever because I really had problems with my phonics, big time. And I don't really like to read out loud, but because I love the work so much and it's so magical, it's so right on, I keep doing it because it's so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's really great. Yeah, highly recommend that too. And so let's see. I have hopefully that's right, happyenergycoach.com, correct?
Yes.
That's your website? Okay. And let's see, other closets too. So like pantry and stuff like that, you'd want to put salt in there as well?
You could put one like in the middle because pantries, well, if it's a walk-in pantry, yes. But if it's just, you just open it up and it's just a big closet, then you don't really have to, but you can put like one of those cups in there if you'd like.
Okay. And I put them in my garage. And then
Yes.
one thing I didn't think about is like my patios that are under the roof line. I should be including those as well, huh?
You can, just the corners because the energy kind of gets stuck in there, but other than that, things are moving from the breeze and
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think we're just about at an hour here. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or anything else that you want to share?
Well, I just wanna wish everybody a happy new year, and remember, it's your attitude. You can't control the universe, you can't control the energy that's going on around you, but you can control your attitude, your energy and your energy of your home. So, just do the very best you can and enjoy yourself. Have a happy new year.
And do the things that raise your vibration, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. If it
Drinking more
makes you
water.
happy, do it.
Make what? What's that?
If it makes you happy, do it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And get the good food and good water and have happy things that are happy television shows and all good stuff that's going on in your house. So, yeah, I think that that's one thing
Exactly.
that's really changed my life too is making sure that what I come in contact with, on a daily basis and what's representing me in my home is happy. That's what I try to have. So,
Yes, that's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here so much. I really, really appreciate it. And please look for SandiSue, go onto her website and find out what she might be able to do for you because it's fascinating. It's simple and it's extreme. It can be anything that you need it to be, right?
That's right.
As little or as big as you want to make it.
That's right.
Yeah. It's got some um really life-changing things that I wish that more people would just take advantage of. And I think that we can all be more understanding and live um better together if we're all like on this same trajectory kind of thing, that
Yes,
I think it's very calming and soothing and uplifting. So
it is. And that I was told by a psychic, Jamie Clark, for anybody that knows him, is that every time we feng shui a home, we're actually lifting our consciousness. So the more you feng shui your home, the more consciousness you have. And I know that every year I'm more and more intuitive. It's blows my mind, but I know it's because of all the years I've been doing Feng Shui, and I'm still doing it. There's still so much to do all the time. So lifting your consciousness by doing the Feng Shui, it'll make you happy. That's for sure.
I try to do it in my house, but also in my office and some in my car as well. I try to keep that clean and happy and thing too. So yes. Use it.
That's right.
Thanks everybody for being here. Anything else that you want to say, or any other ways that they can get in contact with you or anything? Is that the best?
That's the best way on my website. And then I am on Facebook like a minute or two every day. If I'm getting a message or something, I got to get on there and check it. So you can find me at Feng Shui with SandiSue.
Okay, let me type that into the and I'm not sure how you have it on there. Is it SANDI, Sue?
I don't remember because I have changed it, but Facebook will not let me change the SandiSue that I have separate.
Okay.
So yeah, just put it in. They'll find it. Just put
Okay.
SandiSue and Feng Shui. I'll come up.
And then are you on Instagram as well?
I'm not on Instagram, but you could just Google SandiSue and Feng Shui and you will find lots of different things on there.
Awesome.
You'll be able to find me. You can always call Jessie.
Yeah, that's right. I will put you in contact. I've done it before and I'll do it again.
That's right.
Yes, awesome.
Well, thank you, Jessie. It's always a pleasure being with you. I always have so much fun because we have that pig energy together. Yes. We're pig sisters. So
yes.
We always have fun. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being on here and for sharing such wonderful information. And we got to put it to good use.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. All right. Well, good night, everybody. And you guys have a fantastic Chinese New Year.
Yay, roll those oranges.
Yes, roll the oranges. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.